Hello, everybody. Hope you can hear me well. Found this article, even though it's been retracted. It was released in June 2016, retracted in July of 2016. Human and environmental dangers posed by ongoing global tropospheric aerosolized particulates for weather modification. So it's a really long one, not sure how much I'll read, but the background, the U.S. military perception of nuclear warfare led to countless unethical nuclear experiments performed on unsuspecting individuals without their informed consent. As evidenced here, subsequent perception of weather warfare has led to exposing millions of unsuspecting individuals to toxic coal fly ash with no public disclosure, no informed consent, and no health warnings. 3 methods were used. 1. Comparison of 8 elements analyzed in rainwater samples thought to have leached from aerosolized coal fly ash with corresponding coal fly ash laboratory leachate. 2. Comparison of 14 elements analyzed in air filter dust with corresponding elements in coal fly ash, and 3. Comparison of 23 elements analyzed in fibrous mesh found after snow melted with corresponding elements in coal fly ash. Oh, the page won't turn. The rainwater element ratio shows that the aerial particulate matter has essentially the same water leach characteristics as coal fly ash. The air filter dust element ratios occur in the same range of compositions as coal fly ash, as do element ratios in fibrous mesh found on grass after snow melted. The fibrous mesh provides an infrared direct connection with the aerosolizing jet aircraft via coal fly ash association with the jet combustion environment. Conclusion. Strong evidence for the correctness of the hypothesis coal fly ash is likely the aerosolized particulate emplaced in the troposphere for geoengineering, weather modification, and/or climate alteration purposes. The document Public Health Associations for 2.5 particulate pollutions are also applicable to aerosolized coal fly ash. The ability of coal fly ash to release aluminum in a chemically mobile form upon exposure to water or body moisture has potentially grave human and environmental consequences over a broad spectrum, including implications for neurological diseases and debilitation. The ability of coal fly ash to release heavy metals and radioactive elements upon exposure to body moisture has potentially grave human health implications, including cancer, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, respiratory disease, reduced male fertility, and stroke. The fibrous mesh data admit the possibility of environmentally disastrous formation of methylmercury and ozone-depleting fluorinated hydrocarbons in jet exhaust. Geophysical implications include atmospheric warming and rainfall retardation. Alright, there's also this introduction part right here. I don't know if you want to pause and read it. I mean, there's actually a lot here. Oh, man. I don't know. Well, it's a lot to read. Like, this is a quote from Abraham Lincoln. You can fool all the people some of the time, and some of the people all the time. But you cannot fool all the people all of the time. And that is very, very true. Very true. Alright, results here. Coal fly ash is trapped and confined in Western countries because it contains numerous toxic elements, including aluminum, arsenic, barium, cadmium, chromium, lead, mercury, selenium, thorium, and uranium, among others. These elements are readily released by contact with water. Marino et al. Conducting leaching experiments on 23 different coal fly ash samples from European sources, which they analyzed for 33 elements. There's 33. They leached 100 grams of each sample in 1 liter of distilled water in a 2-liter bottle for 24 hours. They then analyzed a filtered leachate solution of each for 38 elements. No reason was given for the greater number of leachate analysis. This data provide the primary standard for comparison of the analytical results for rainwater, HEPA filtered dust, and fibrous matter reported here. An additional comparison is made of the range of compositions and range of leachate values of 12 American coal fly ash samples, 10 of which come from the Illinois Basin. Rainwater. Before the near-daily aerial spraying in San Diego, California, USA, where the author has resided for more than 40 years, on many days of the year the skies were blue, cloudless, and without the white haze that is the consequence of the aerial spraying. Now, the visual effects of the spraying are clearly evident, which is a figure 3 and back there. The author collected San Diego rainwater samples in February, May, and December of 2015 for analysis. San Diego is ideal for rainwater sample collecting as there are no coal burning facilities nearby or in the path of prevailing winds, and there are no heavy industries to cause airborne pollution in San Diego. The residence time for smokestack particles in the boundary layer, a few days at most, is too short for coal fly ash to arrive from China via low-level transport, which takes longer than 10 days. Further, the observed aerial particulate density, at times sufficient to cause artificial overcast, is related to observed aircraft spraying activities and is not present in the absence of aerial activity. The rainwater samples were sent to 2 commercial state of California certified laboratories, Bob Cook Laboratories and Basic Laboratories. Their analytical, I'm not good at saying words, results by inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometry were consisted to within 2 to 10%. The figure 4 shows that San Diego rainwater analytical element ratios for comparison with corresponding ratios of the average values and ranges of the Moreno et al. Laboratory leachate results for 23 European coal fly ash samples and the range of American coal fly ash leachate data of Sulaway et al. The European coal fly ash samples were leached using distilled water. After leaching for 24 hours, the pH of the 23 laboratory leachates ranged from 6.40 to 12.54. Comparable data are not available for the American leach experiments, as the pH was constantly adjusted during the experiment to maintain a value of 5.00. Figure 4 also includes for comparison the analytical rainwater results from the internet sources published by the author. Plotted data are shown in tables 1 through 3. I'm not sure if you can see those tablets there. I didn't click on them and print them out though. There's also about the HEPA air filter dust. Citizens throughout the Western nations concerned about the particulate spraying they observe in the troposphere have taken numerous samples other than rainwater. Some instances, such as soil samples, are too complicated to draw meaningful conclusions. In many instances, though, too few elements were ordered in the analysis. Individuals in Los Angeles and Montebello, California in 2011, and in Phoenix, Arizona in 2008 and 2009 were exceptions during times of intense aerial spraying. These citizens ran HEPA air filters outdoors for 3 months during times of intense aerial spraying to capture airborne dust, which they had analyzed for 14 chemical elements by state-certified laboratories. The laboratory results were posted on the internet but led to no immediate conclusions other than that a number of toxic elements were evident. Yes. Also, there's fibers found after snow melted. Alright. Sorry, this is going a little longer. The ultrafine particles of aerosolized coal-fly ash do not long remain at the altitudes they are emplaced in the troposphere. The particles mix with and pollute the air people breathe and contaminate the soil with toxic soluble aluminum. The coal-fly ash also causes pH changes in the soil. Aluminum is an abundant element in Earth's crust, but typically it is tightly bound to oxygen and other elements. Earth's biota evolved without adapting defense mechanisms for suitable aluminum compounds. And there's a whole bunch more. You guys want to pause on it? The toxin in coal-fly ash make that substance especially injurious to human health. Small particles size of aerosolized coal-fly ash enables particles intake through inhalation, ingestion, and induction through eyes or skin. When inhaled, the particles can penetrate and become trapped in thermal airways and alveoli and retain for long periods of time. Here, it can cause inflammation and injury through antagonistic contact. Through in situ means on site, right there. Toxin released by body moisture and through ionizing radiation from uranium, thorium, and their radioactive daughter products found in coal-fly ash. Coal-fly ash has been described as being more radioactive than nuclear waste. Okay. There's a lot here to read. Alright. There's like bunches. It's very crazy to me anyways. And then people don't believe it, that it's even happening. I just don't understand. Conclusion. The research results reported here provide strong evidence for the author's hypothesis. Coal-fly ash is likely the aerosolized particulate emplaced in the troposphere for geoengineering, weather modification, and/or climate alteration purposes. The rainwater element ratios show that the aerial particulate matter has essentially the same water leach characteristics as coal-fly ash. The HEPA air filter dust element ratios occur in the same range of compositions as coal-fly ash, as do the element ratios in fibrous mesh found on grass after snow melted. Hey, hang on, babe. The documented Public Health Association for PM 2.5 particulate pollutions are also applicable to aerosolized coal-fly ash, which is similar in grain size. These associations include increased hospital administrations, morbidity and premature mortality, low birth weight, lung inflammation, and diabetes, risk for cardiovascular disease, lung cancer, lung inflammation, and diabetes, risk for stroke, Alzheimer's disease, onset of asthma, renal function in older men, and reduced male fertility. Not good with that word. The ability of coal-fly ash to release aluminum in a chemically mobile form upon exposure to water or body moisture has potentially grave human and environmental consequences over a broad spectrum. Hang on a minute. You can take that rice. That's fine. Including implications for neurological diseases, reduced male fertility, oh goodness, neurological disorders of bees and other creatures, and biota debilitation. The ability of coal fly ash to release heavy metals and radioactive elements upon exposure to body moisture has potentially grave human health implications over a broad spectrum, including, but not limited to, cancer, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, respiratory disease, and stroke. Toxic methylmercury and ozone-damaging fluorinated hydrocarbons, the author posts, may be produced from certain types of tropospheric spraying that places coal fly ash in the jet fuel combustion environment. Experimental verification is warranted. From a geophysical perspective, coal fly ash sprayed in the tropospheric warms the atmosphere, blocks heat from Earth radiating back into space, and retards rainfall, which can artificially elevate atmospheric pressure that can block incoming weather fronts, further leading to drought conditions. If anything, this activity contributes to global warming. The purpose of this covert activity is unknown to the scientific community and to the public. The time has come for the scientific community, and especially the environmental science and public health communities, to understand that a multiplicity of toxic substances is being sprayed into the air breathed by people in many parts of the world, and that it will adversely affect virtually all life on Earth. Oh, yeah. There's a little bit of their little notes there. geoengineeringwatch.org, they're good people. There's even some YouTube things on here. Oh no, that's what that is. That's what I found. That's what I read. I go to if you put in on the Google NCBI and then anything you want to search, literally that place has a lot of stuff on it. And I found that out through, I'm not quite sure, a long time ago, one of Julian Assange's tweets, that he tweeted a bunch of these weird numbers. And that's what I found out about a lot of they do a lot of experimental things on people. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with everybody. Alright, have a good day. Breathe safe.
Right.